Alright, so it's that time of year. 2021 Oscars time. It's in a couple of weeks now for the actual Oscars. I was thinking about doing a live stream for it. Well, like, would you guys be interested in, like, hearing my thoughts, live about the Oscars? Obviously, you can't see the Oscars as I'm doing it. So, let me know what you'd be, like, if you'd like to, like, listen to that type of thing. So, let's go over the Best Picture nominees for this, and then I'll talk about some snubs, some ideas that I have, and yeah, so let's get into it. So, The Trial of the Chicago 7. It was a pretty good movie. So that was directed by Aaron Sorkin. So this is his second directorial movie, his first one being Molly's Game, which I quite liked. I quite enjoyed Molly's Game. So this movie is about the protests that happened at the 1968 Democratic Convention. So there's during Vietnam, people people on the left are protesting, the Vietnam protests, protesting the Vietnam War, and specifically they were protesting the nomination of, I think his name was Hubert Humphrey, and he was the Democratic nominee for president against Nixon. So this movie is about a trial that went on where the government was trying to lampoon this group of protesters and group of vaguely revolutionary people who were upset about the Vietnam War and things like that. And the trial was all one-sided, and it was terrible. This movie really, captured this idea, and I really enjoyed it. It's a courtroom drama, like a lot of Aaron Sorkin's other work. Like Molly's Game, like The Social Network, which it was more about arbitration, right? Not really courtroom, but you know what I mean. Like, and his most famous movie, A Few Good Men. A Few Good Men. I'm actually working on a best director, well, best writer, for Aaron Sorkin at the moment. It's going to be my biggest video ever for this channel. It's probably going to be, like at least half an hour long, maybe even more. So it's exciting. So let me know if you're interested in that. It's still coming together. But yeah, so Aaron Sorkin, he's really honed his craft as a director. This one kind of was a little bit of a miss. It wasn't as good as Molly's Game in the direction style. The writing was really good. So very up to standard with a lot of other Aaron Sorkin work. But the directing was a little bland, especially the score. The score was very bland in this movie. I did not enjoy the score. I think it was very cheesy, very, yeah, and a lot of the acting was really good. So Sacha Baron Cohen and Eddie Redmayne being the two best actors in this movie. They were both superb. I liked them in a lot of the things they do. But yeah, like Sacha Baron Cohen was great doing more of a, he wasn't, like, this movie isn't a full drama. It's, it's a courtroom drama with a bit of comedy in it. It is a lighter movie than, especially since a very similar movie that I'll talk about later, Judas and the Black Messiah. That one is a lot more of a drama than a comedy than Trial of Chicago 7 actually is. And so Sacha Baron Cohen, who is very famous for his comedic acting, does actually do quite a good job playing what's his name, Abby Hoffman, who okay, so I'm a little bit of a libtard, right? So I'd like, if you watch my political channel as well, that I'd link in the description for that you'd know that I'm quite left wing, and Abby Hoffman, the real life person at this time, was vastly even more left wing than me. All right, and and in this movie he was really watered down, very made to be more centristy, more like maybe like a Bernie Sanders type person, where he was far more revolutionary and far more wanting to completely uproot the system and all that. So like in an abstract, I really enjoy Sacha Baron Cohen's performance. But if you wanted to go and think how well was he to portray this person, it wasn't that great. It wasn't a great portrayal of the actual person, which is a shame. So this movie got 6 nominations: Best Picture, Editing, Cinematography, Support Actor for Sacha Baron Cohen, which is really interesting. I do support that. Best Original Screenplay for Aaron Sorkin. That makes sense. Aaron Sorkin's a very big named screenwriter, so like even if this movie was dog shit, I would think he would still get that nomination. And Score, which is pretty cringe because that score wasn't very good. I'm surprised no Best Director nomination for Sorkin. It's a shame. Did he get a Best Director nomination for Molly's Game? I think this isn't as, I think Molly's Game was directed better, but I think it's pretty rough to not consider him, one of the better directors of this year, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, so I did really enjoy this movie. I think I have it at 3.5 stars, and it's not my favorite movie of the year. It's quite enjoyable. I think it could win Best Picture. It wouldn't be my choice for Best Picture. The ones that I would be happy if it won was editing. The editing was quite good and fun and fast paced and quick. I think, like, the Academy could actually just give it to them for that, you know. And original screenplay I'd be happy for. I wouldn't really want Sacha Baron Cohen to win Best Actor, but yeah, and director of cinematography, nominated for cinematography as well. I didn't think it had that great cinematography. Yeah, so I wouldn't be that. And I think I would be okay if it won Best Picture, especially with some of the other ones that are nominated. Oh my god, some of the other ones are actual trash. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Trial of Chicago 7. And then you can see my extended thoughts when I eventually get out my Aaron Sorkin Best Director video, or Best Writer video. Okay, so let's jump back into Judas and the Black Messiah then. So this movie is actually set in the same time frame as Trial of the Chicago 7, which is really interesting, and in Chicago at the same time. And it's kind of like a biopic of Fred Hampton, a very famous left-wing, he was the chairman of the Chicago Black Panther Party, a very prominent racial figure at the time. You know, like, people overlook Fred Hampton. Like, you know, they hold up, you know, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, which I think were more impactful than Fred Hampton. But Fred Hampton is very important in his own right, and I think people overlook it because of how, say, violent the Black Panther Party was. But you know, there's a lot of nuance in that. If the police weren't so violent towards them, towards the black people in general, you know, it was more of a reactionary group than it was like actually going out to commit violence, you know. But yeah, so this movie is about Fred Hampton, but also about another member in the Black Panther Party who was actually an FBI informant that was ratting him out. And that's why it's Judas and the Black Messiah. Fred Hampton being the Black Messiah, and this other character being Judas, you know, being like the Jesus and Judas parable right there. So insane cast, insane. Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith, how do you pronounce that? Sorry, computers over here. Lakeith Stanfield, they were both awesome. Awesome. They were both in Get Out. You know, Lakeith had a very small role in Get Out. He played L in the Death Note remake. Yeah, the live action one. Terrible, terrible. But they were both exceptional. Exceptional in this movie. And Jesse Plemons. Oh my god, Jesse Plemons is quickly becoming like my favorite actor. Jesse Plemons is in everything. He is amazing. He is so good. Like, he got famous from being that very small character, Todd, in Breaking Bad. And he's just blown up ever since. Like, he's pretty great. He never does like the leading role, and he did in the new Charlie Kaufman movie this year, which he was very good in that. And but other than that, he hasn't really done like lead roles. He's more of a supporting actor, but he's awesome as a supporting actor. I'm disappointed he didn't get a supporting actor nomination. Honestly, it's very sad. And Martin Sheen had this really small role in this movie, and it was awesome. It was something I've never seen him do. It was so good. I loved it to no end. It was awesome. Yeah, this was directed by Shaka King. I haven't seen any of his other work or anything he's done before, but like, I'm gonna keep my eyes out for this guy. This is awesome. This movie's amazing. One of the best of the year. Best of the year. And he didn't get a Best Director nomination. Very disappointing. I think, like, there is an issue where this year they really want to nominate more women for the role, for Best Director, and that is actually pushing out good male directors, like Shaka King, who was outstanding and should have got a nomination. It was ridiculous. So this movie has 6 nominations for Best Picture, 2 supporting actor nominations for Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield. What's up with that? What? They support each other? Neither of them are Best Lead Actor, and there's no Best Lead Actor nomination for this movie. And that's because, I guess, Chadwick Boseman is nominated for some crappy movie he was in. I never watched it. I'll probably watch it before the Oscars. So I say crappy, but I'm assuming it's crappy. And they're only giving him the Oscar because he passed away. Very sad, but he's gonna win Best Lead Actor. Like, that's all everyone's saying it. Like, that's what my money is on. He's gonna win it. And so I guess they wanted to double down and put these guys in Best Supporting roles to try to get an Oscar. I guess that was their mentality, which is a shame because I think definitely I think Lakeith Stanfield is the lead actor. By playing the Judas character. I forget the name of the actual character. And the fact that it didn't get a Best lead actor nomination because of Chadwick Boseman passing away it's rough. And also, I feel like it pushes out Jesse Plemons from getting a Best Supporting Actor nomination as well. They couldn't have 3 Best Supporting Actors from this movie. That would be insane. So it's also nominated for cinematography, score, and original screenplay. I would be happy if it won all 6 of those awards. Well, only 5 because they can't win Best Supporting Actor twice, right? But yeah, the score was exceptional. There was this really great theme when Lakeith Stanfield would when he pretended to be a police officer. There was like two times where we saw like a badge that he had, and it was incredible. That this like I don't know what type of instrument was used. It's some horn instrument, and it's chilling. That theme is chilling. I love it so much. It's so good. But yeah, this movie I would love to win Best Picture. Yeah, it's not my favorite movie of the year. It's not my favorite out of the nominations, but I would be very happy if it won, and it probably will win. There's two favorite ones: this and Nomadland, which I'll get to later. Well, I'll talk about Nomadland. So like based off other award shows and all that stuff, these are the two that are probably gonna have the best chance of winning. So we'll see, or maybe we'll get a Green Book situation and get some garbage one that no one saw coming. But yeah, so very enjoy this movie. Would really recommend. It's not my favorite movie of the year though. Mank, David Fincher's new movie. It was kind of a disappointment. Yeah, it like I enjoyed it, but like I quite enjoyed it, And if it was from another director, I would go, yeah, that movie was pretty great. But sadly, I expect more from David Fincher. David Fincher is one of the best directors alive right now. Fight Club, The Game, The Social Network. So many great films that he's made, and this movie kind of fell a little flat. So it's about the creation and the writing of the very famous movie Citizen Kane. And I think the issue is, I haven't seen Citizen Kane. And it's one of those movies I've been meaning to watch, and I never got around to it. And I think that maybe dulled my enjoyment of the film, it's a shame. I need to get around to it. Maybe I'll try to watch it before the Oscars, and then I could rewatch Mank. So like I'll let you know. The film really reminded me of this movie called Trumbo, which is about the creation of multiple scripts made during the blacklist of Hollywood in the 50s, 40s. When was the blacklist? Late 40s, I think. And it was about this guy Trumbo who was a communist, and he wrote really many famous scripts like Kubrick's Spartacus, and I think it's called Roman Holiday. I haven't seen Roman Holiday. It's meant to be it's very famous. It's meant to be very good. It got him an Oscar, and Trumbo an Oscar. And it's about how he was writing that underground with all the politics in Hollywood going on. And that's really what Mank is about. It's about, there's a lot of political undertones going on in it, which is very interesting. Like FDR stuff, like era, World War II era politics in Hollywood and stuff. Very interesting. Yeah, it was it was quite enjoyable for that aspect. And like Gary Oldman did a great job playing Mank. And I wouldn't be disappointed if he won Best Actor for the role, even though I think Chadwick Boseman's going to win that award. Yeah, and this movie got 10 nominations. It's one of the favorites to clean up, right? So Best Picture, Gary Oldman for Best Actor. Seinfeld for her supporting actress role. I didn't enjoy it that much. I think she's a really good actress, and I think she's done a lot of good things. But her role in this wasn't that great. It's very forgettable, not that good. Cinematography, I'll be happy if that won. Director, even though I don't think it's Fincher's best movie, I think I would so be happy if Fincher got one Best Director. I think he's due. He's so due Best Director. He's never won. It's ridiculous. I don't think he would win it, but I think but I would want him to win. Best Makeup, I'd be happy if that won. It had some really good makeup in this movie. Very noticeable makeup. Music, it had a very forgettable score, so I don't know. Production design, I think it was really good at setting the time frame and all that stuff, so I think it would be good for that. And sound, maybe I didn't really notice any great sound mixing or anything, because they've mixed the two awards this year. Sound design and sound mixing into just excellence in sound or whatever they're calling it. So which I think is a bit, which I think it decreases what. I don't know, what you're meant to actually achieve in sound. So I don't really know. But yeah, I thought the movie was quite good, but it was a bit of a disappointment based on the rest of Fincher's work. Minari, a really great American-Korean film about a family starting a farm, growing Korean vegetables in somewhere in America. I forget what state they're in. About their family dynamic, about starting a farm. Really a working class movie. I think it was really good, really enjoyable. So it's an American movie, no matter what the Golden Globes wants to tell you. Because Minari won Best Foreign Film at the Golden Globes, which is stupid. What the hell? It's an American movie. Just because half of it is in Korean doesn't mean it's a foreign movie. That's so stupid. Wasn't Glorious Bastards a foreign movie because they spoke French throughout the movie? Stupid. It's so silly. So it hasn't been on there for foreign film at the Oscars, thankfully, because that would make no sense. It diminishes the whole point of that award. Yeah, it reminded me of the film Sorry We Missed You, which came out last year, one of my favorite movies of 2020. And all about working class and people struggling to make a living and with their family dynamics and stuff. I'd really recommend that movie. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, it really reminded me of that for this. I really enjoyed this movie. It got 6 nominations for Best Picture actor for Steven Yeun, who was in The Walking Dead, and he was great. He was great in this movie. Supporting actress, I forget the name of the supporting actress, but she did a great job too. I'd be very happy if she won. I think she's one of my favorite ones out of the supporting actress nominations. Best director, which I didn't think the directing was that amazing. I don't think. Like I think Fincher's directing was better than the directing of this movie. Music, I really enjoyed the score for this, so I'd be happy. Original screenplay, I'd be happy for one. But frankly, I don't think it's going to win much because Parasite won last year, and they're not going to give all these awards to another Korean movie. I think the Oscars aren't going to do that. Like, that's not my opinion. It is my feeling that the Oscars wouldn't do that 2 years in a row. Like, Best Picture, 2 Korean movies in a row? No way. No way. So, like, I enjoyed this movie. I would really recommend it. I think I give it 4 stars. Would recommend, but it's not the best movie out of the year, and I don't think it's going to really win whole too much. I think supporting actress would probably be its best bet, and original screenplay maybe. All right, so the other big one, Nomadland. I didn't like this movie. I didn't like it. I gave it 2.5 stars. I was just bored out of my mind. The entire movie, I was just bored. Like, it didn't have nothing. So the movie is about a woman who's lost her job and she's become a nomad and living in a van, and she's trying to make the best out of her life in a shitty situation. So this is set during the 2007 global financial crisis, and everyone losing their job, everyone losing their houses. It definitely has a lot to say about these things, and yet doesn't get around to it. A lot of this movie is just slice of life stuff going on with what is this actress doing, what is this character doing in a caravan place, and it's just it doesn't really get anywhere. I think it's got some great cinematography. I think it's got some great acting from Frances McDormand, one of my favorite actresses. She's awesome. She's so good. This will be her 3rd Oscar, which is insane. Like, she's a really good actress. I really enjoy it. So they're nominated for 6 Oscars. Best Picture, Best Actress of Frances McDormand, which I'll be very happy if she won. Cinematography, I'll be happy if they won. Director, I wouldn't be disappointed because I think the directing was really good. This movie was really well made. It just didn't have much to say. It didn't have much to say. Like, the editing, I didn't really like it that much. I didn't notice anything great in the editing. And the writing, no. I don't think the writing should get anything. Don't give it any script awards. Alright, now for the worst movie that has been nominated. Promising Young Woman. What the hell? This movie was so boring, so preachy with its politics, and but then it's not the end of the world if you're preachy and you have something to say politically in your movie. You just have to say it in an interesting way. This movie had nothing to say. It was about rape culture and all that stuff, and it followed a protagonist where she would pretend to be drunk, and then when a man would attempt to rape her, she would I'm not drunk, and kill them or something. It just wasn't that great. Bo Burnham had a great supporting role in this, and he was the most enjoyable part of this film. Sadly, not in the movie nearly enough. Nearly enough. I was so bored out of my mind. Cannot recommend. Sound of Metal. This was a great movie about inner peace and about drumming. It wasn't what I expected. So I didn't see any ads for this. I saw it was nominated, so I went to go watch it. I knew Riz Ahmed from a couple of his films, and so I went to go watch it. I started watching it at 12 at night while the missus was sleeping, and then I was like, "Oh, maybe I need to listen to this a lot louder." It starts off with this great drumming scene, and I'm like, "Oh, is this like Whiplash?" One of my favorite movies, Whiplash, right? And I'm like, "Oh, is this like Whiplash? So I need to appreciate the music a lot more." So I turned it off and I watched it the next day, and pretty much as soon as I get up to the bit that I've already watched, he goes deaf. The whole movie is about this guy whose sole purpose is about music, and then he goes deaf and can't play, and he has to overcome this negative part of his life and make it part of himself and find peace in this issue. And it's a very good movie, very enjoyable. Riz Ahmed kills it. He is so good, so good. Yeah, I would highly, highly recommend this movie. Like, I gave it 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. 6 Oscars, which is a trend. All these movies are getting 6 Oscars other than Mank. There's 6 Oscar nominations. Pretty crazy. So Best Picture, Best Actor for Riz Ahmed. I would like him to win. Probably will still go to Chadwick Boseman. So I didn't love the supporting role guy, and he got a nomination. So I could take or leave it. I'd much rather someone from Judas and the Black Messiah to win. Editing was really good. Sound was really good, and I think it would win the Sound Award. Original screenplay wasn't that amazing. I don't think what was great about the movie was the screenplay. So I wouldn't I wouldn't love it if it won Best Screenplay, and I'll be okay if it won Best Picture. I think it was really good. I think I would really recommend. All right, the last movie nominated for Best Picture and the best one, The Father. Oh my God, The Father is exceptional. 10 out of 10. Amazing movie. Amazing, 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 amazing. Only just beats out Judas and the Black Messiah as my favorite movie of the year. Oh my God. Oh my God. So it's about an old guy played by Anthony Hopkins. A very classic and great actor, and he's going through dementia, and he doesn't recognize his family. He doesn't recognize where he is. He's forgetting everything. And what's so great about the film is it visualizes all the issues. So when he doesn't recognize his daughter, there's just a different actress. There's a different actress, and we can't even we get into the head of this character, and it's exceptional. It's exceptional how this movie is created. This movie is a blast. Oh my God, I had a little tear up in the movie. Oh, I don't cry in movies that much, but I cried in this one. Anthony Hopkins absolutely killed it. Olivia Colman absolutely killed it. Amazing cast. Amazing cinematography. Oh my God. So nominated for 6 nominations, and it should win every single one. I don't think it will, but it fucking should. So Best Picture, actor for Anthony Hopkins, supporting actress for Olivia Colman, Best Editing, Production Design, and Adapted Screenplay. Amazing, 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 amazing. I'm intrigued about the adapted screenplay. So I think it was a book originally. I wonder how much that book actually puts you in the head of the character. It would be very interesting to find out. I don't read too much. If this movie doesn't win Best Production Design, we riot, boys. This needs to win Best Production Design, and Anthony Hopkins should 100% win Best Actor. I don't think he will, but he 100% should. Amazing. It's so weird that they only nominated 7 movies, where sometimes they get up to 10. They a lot of the time they nominate up to 10 movies, and I feel like there's a lot of movies that are lacking. So first one, Another Round. A great foreign film from is it from Norway? Very good about binge drinking, about these teachers who are bored in their lives and they want to drink more. It's really good. I would highly recommend that one. It's nominated for best director and for best foreign film. I think a couple other awards as well. I would love it if it won both of those. I think it will win best foreign film. It's the only one nominated for best foreign film that I've actually seen. So we'll see. But yeah, very, very good. Mads Mikkelsen is awesome in that movie. Oh my God. I was very surprised. So, because of the pandemic and all that stuff, I was like, oh, no movies are going to get made. Right. All these movies are going to get pushed out. They're going to get pushed in the 2022 Oscars, and we're not going to get the movies in time. So it's going to give room for Christopher Nolan to scoop up a bunch of awards for Tenet. And Tenet got fuck all. Tenet was nominated for production design, I think, and that's about it, which I think it should win. But I was really, really surprised. No Best Picture, no Best Director, and I don't think it's Christopher Nolan's best work. I did really enjoy it. I get 4 stars. I loved it. It was really good, really enjoyable. Better than Inception. I don't know why people love Inception that much. That's just my issue. If I ever finish that Christopher Nolan Best Director, which I'm planning to do after I finish my Aaron Sorkin video, then I'll talk about how I don't actually love Inception that much. So sue me. But yeah, I was very surprised it didn't get a bunch of awards. I think the Oscars just don't like Nolan because he's commercially viable, because he makes great movies that normies love, that they can't see that it's also technically well made and a lot deeper than your average blockbuster. I'm thinking about ending things. The biggest snub. Charlie Kaufman deserves all your Oscars. Charlie Kaufman is one of the best screenwriters out there, and he's becoming one of the better directors. He's so good. This movie was amazing. It's on Netflix. Please go watch it. It's got Jesse Plemons. He's great. This movie, like, it's borderline inaccessible. It's got a lot of. It's very artsy. It's very, I don't know what's going on. Very monologue heavy, but very, very good. It's not Charlie Kaufman's best movie, which would either be Anomalisa or Synecdoche, New York. I can't decide which one is my favorite. I highly recommend his work. His work is amazing. He's one of the best people working in Hollywood at the moment, making exceptional work. Please go watch his stuff. And it's stupid that it didn't get nominated. Even at least a script nomination. Come on, but it should have got best director, best supporting actress, best actors, just everything. Every single award should have gone to this movie. This movie was amazing. And like, it wasn't my favorite movie of the year, but Soul. The Pixar movie Soul. It was very good. Like, really a cut above the crap that Pixar has been releasing the last few years. I thought that Coco was pretty good, but Soul was better than Coco. I really enjoyed it. I think very, very great music. It's nominated for best animated picture and best score, I think, and maybe a couple of other ones, maybe some editing ones. I don't know. But like, I wouldn't be mad if it won best score. I think it had a really great score. I actually bought it on vinyl the other day. It was very good. Very great score. I thought it was much better than a lot of other Pixar movies that have come out in the last few years. So, like, I really recommend. I don't think I would have wanted it to be nominated for best picture, even though some people wanted that. Some people, there was a big campaign to try to get it nominated for best picture. Like, Pixar hasn't made a movie in a long time that I would consider the best of the year, right? Maybe The Incredibles. That's maybe it. Like, maybe one of the original Toy Stories and all that stuff. Maybe WALL-E. Maybe some of the original stuff. But like, they haven't made stuff in a long time that I'll consider some of the best of the best. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on this year's Oscars. Let me know your thoughts on the movies, and let me know if you want me to live stream on Oscar Day. It's actually on Anzac Day in New Zealand, where I'm from. So like, I'll have the day off of a public holiday, which is great. So I don't have to take the day off work. And then, so I get a bit pissed, get day drunk, talk about movies, talk some shit. And I'll have my Aaron Sorkin video out in like a month. I'm being a bit slack on it recently. I really like to work on it. And check out my politics video if you're interested in that. And my politics channel, I should say. And cheers for watching.